merging physical and digital worlds towards a Phygital world. Obviously, they put the two words together. The period we're going through has been called post-humanistic or post-humanistic as the successor of the humanistic period. The main characteristic of post-humanism is the questioning of humanism, according to which man is superior to all other biological species, and his improvement comes mainly through classical education and humanistic values. Posthumanism wishes to place man within a wider universe and no longer at the center of the world. Posthumanism, a term that belongs equally to the fields of philosophy, technology, and the humanities, on the one hand argues that human betterment, often referred to as upgrading, can come through biotechnology, and on the other hand approaches the world as a set in which the boundaries between man and animal, living and non-living beings, man and machine, physical and digital world, etc., are catalyzed. The idea of a unified approach to modeling and understanding humans, animals, and machines was formulated by Norbert Wiener in 1950, who argued that humans, animals, and machines operate according to the same principles in terms of transmitting information and managing energy. Much earlier, Leonardo da Vinci, according to Dominic Petman, viewed living things as organic machines and considered machines to operate on the same mathematical principle as animals and humans. Petman, in his book entitled Human Error, Species, Being, and Media Machines, from University of Minnesota Press 2011, speaks of a triangle between man, animal, and machine, which according to the humanistic approach is usually understood in a vertical position with animals and machines at the base and man at the top as a superior species in the hierarchy. He points out, however, that sometimes the triangle is in a horizontal position without any point of it being superior to the rest. This equation and assimilation of man, animal, and machine expresses a basic foundation of transhumanism, which promotes the concept of abolishing and fluidizing the boundaries between human and animal kingdom, but also between living and non-living beings. The post-humanist philosophy expresses the infiltration of other forms of life into human nature in an open system, while the goal of post-humanism is the annihilation of the boundaries that define the human being as human. Transhumanism seeks to create post-humanity in which the evolution of man as Homo sapiens is understood through hybridization with other species, with other living or non-living beings, for example computers, always with the contribution of technology. The man of the future is called to a symbiosis with all forms of life and with all technological structures in a single open and inclusive system. And this, according to the transhumanists, will mean the limitless evolution and improvement of man, who will now have turned into a meta-human. Hybridization, or otherwise the combination of different genres and natures, is very often formulated in discussions about the digital age and the fourth industrial revolution. The merging of physical and digital worlds is something that is constantly heralded, describes the wider environment of the metaverse, and has led to the neologism Phygital, derived from the combination of the English words physical and digital. Klaus Schwab, in his speech at the Chicago World Fair Council event in May 2019, said, "The fourth industrial revolution will lead to a merging of our physical, digital, and biological identities. As Valera states, transhumanism is not the replacement of the human species, but a more perfect species, but instead it is a new way of looking at humanity, according to which the question of identity will no longer matter. The construction of man's nature and identity that is so fervently presented as an opening to the world and to the different cannot help but trouble those who understand the confirmed destructive power of deconstructive forces. The problem of identity has been timeless, whether it is the identity of people or groups, while identity is a fundamental value of the human condition as well as a connecting means for reconciliation with other people in the world. Instead of limiting, identity delimits and is a condition for openness and healthy dialogue with every element of nature. The question of identity seems to be emerging as a major issue of the time, but the question is no longer what is the identity of man, but whether the identity is necessary. Sarandos Kargakos, a thinker who saw a lot early on the changes and dangers that the 21st century held, wrote, "Tomorrow we will not even have a face. The preservation of the personal and more broadly the national, that's today we would add and human, identity is not a luxury but a necessity of life, if of course we still consider the self-existence of individuals and peoples as an element of life. Because it should not escape us that mass societies are not capable of self-directed actions. In the future, and I mean the near future, the most serious problem we will face will be the identity crisis. Hunger for Identity, Responsibility, Magazine, Volume 300, 1996. And more about the merging of physical and digital worlds and question of human identity can be found in the author's forthcoming book, Feeling the Human of the Future, The Search for Identity in the Age of Digital Existentialism and the Fourth Industrial Revolution. And this is from Antifono, and I've translated this for you from a Greek article. Please leave your comments, and thank you for your support. Please support my Patreon account. The daily posts are 5 videos daily, and they are totally different from what I have on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for your support and that you find all my content so interesting. You'll find the Patreon account details in the description box below.